for this last minute technological fiasco. So, my name is Uday Purandhare, and I'll be taking two classes, 2 hours each, for a very nice and a very critical subject of your career, knowledge management. So, I've been teaching, my background is I have done my bachelor's in commerce, and then I specialize in supply chain, entrepreneurship, innovation, and I've been teaching for the past 9 years at IBD, Symbiosis, MIT School of Design, and Flame, to name a few. So let's begin with a small understanding what is knowledge management to according to you. Any all of I would appreciate if you all of you can participate so that I understand what is knowledge and how you manage it, or knowledge management. What is knowledge management to you? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
So I just did not hear anybody replying. So I was just wondering what happened. So anybody wants to go. What is knowledge management according to you?
Yeah, any student can give reply.
Let's make it participative. So I also have some understanding. आप लोगों को knowledge management मतलब क्या? What is knowledge management? Because I can teach. It's not rocket science. Knowledge management is not rocket science. It's pretty simple as what it means in the slide. But if you all participate, then it makes more interesting in teaching. And that is why this question: what is knowledge management according to you? Whether you are right or wrong, don't worry about it. You can speak in Hindi, Marathi, or English. That is also fine by me. So, and I understand it's 2 o'clock, and then all of you must have had lunch and आधे सो नहीं रहे, I hope. Or hopefully you're just not here for marking your present. भाई मैं क्लास में present हूँ. It should not happen like that. Let's make it interesting. So let's have a go. What is knowledge management according to you all? I can see here who is there. Nishit, let's start from you. What do you think? What is knowledge management? Nobody? Nobody wants to share anything? Okay, so let's move ahead. Implementation of knowledge management. Let's move to the next slide. Thanks. Discussion on the roadblocks to success of knowledge management. A winning knowledge program increases staff productivity, product and service and quality, and deliverable consistency by capitalizing on intellectual and knowledge based assets. However, implementation can be a challenge. A winning knowledge program. We attend a lot of programs. From time to time, once you step out in the world of working or you have your own business, there will be only two scenarios when you finish on education. One, that you go to your business if you have your father's or your family business. Second will be you'll take up a job. Most of us take up a job. And during the job, you will see a lot of times you will be going through a lot of trainings. You hear a lot of trainings going on in companies. There are in-house trainings. There are external faculties and trainers who come, or sometimes companies send you to programs, to the institutions like IIMs or ISB or IY leagues internationally. Now, why does this happen? Anybody? Why do people send you for trainings and winning knowledge program? It's important to participate, otherwise I will not understand how much have you really learned in what is knowledge management. Anybody? कोई शेयर करना चाहेगा कि भाई कंपनी आपको ट्रेनिंग के लिए या स्किल्स अपग्रेडेशन या टाइम टू टाइम नॉलेज क्यों अपग्रेड कराने के लिए लगाती है? व्हाई डू दे डू दैट? All of you are on unmute mode. So anybody who wants to share something, please unmute and let's speak. Because unless you don't speak, I don't understand how much you understand.
Hello, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. Because it is sir, it is important because it boosts our efficiency.
fantastic. So the company or you are training yourself after you graduate and you may do your masters or you may stop over here. That's not the important part. What is important is, do all of us agree that we have to continuously upgrade our knowledge? Do you think
Yes,
that if you just finish your bachelor's in business management or master's in business administration, is that going to be enough for you?
no, sir.
Right. So it is extremely important for you to upgrade and continuously ensure that you are gaining knowledge from time to time. And how does that help you?
By
Anybody?
sir accessing more workforce and
Okay.
more information.
More information. Fantastic. Anything more you would like to add? Rest of the class, you got to participate because otherwise I will not understand. And ma'am is here in the presentation, so I will definitely want to let know ma'am after 4 hours of teaching, how do I evaluate you all? And I would want to give some grade, like, though I'm teaching only for 4 hours, if you don't participate, that means whatever I'm speaking is not coming to you. And if you are not going to gain knowledge, then the college is not going to be happy, nor am I going to be happy. So, is in short, it has to be participative and sharing, it learning. So speak. Otherwise, I will only if there are 15 students, I will say only Nishit Malviya passed, and rest of them were all sleeping in the class. I think ma'am is hearing this, and I think I'm correct. Am I right, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So it is important whether you're right or wrong, doesn't matter. Learning is important. I'm here to teach, share knowledge, and my experience. So please make the best out of it. So, as Nishit pointed out, anybody else wants to add that to this? A winning knowledge program increases staff productivity. Your productivity at your workplace, your productivity at your business is very important. After nearly 30 years of my working, I continue to add knowledge to my life. So presently I'm doing my master's in supply chain from MIT Sloan in United States, and I'm also pursuing IM program in supply chain. It's a 4 months program. So you may say, why after 32 years of working, why am I doing this? A winning knowledge program increases productivity, product and service quality, and deliverable consistency by capitalizing on intellectual and knowledge based asset. So what am I getting from the learning? I'm going to get I'm going to capitalize on the intellectual and knowledge base. I'm gaining knowledge from my teachers from MIT Sloan. I'm getting knowledge from my teachers from IIM. And that's going to help me how I do consultancy, I do teaching in supply chain, entrepreneurship, innovation, operations management. It adds to my knowledge. So that's managing knowledge management. However, implementation can be a challenge. Why can implementing knowledge be a challenge? I can see one challenge now, but Here we are talking, you'll have to go back if you don't mind. Yeah. However, implementation can be a challenge. Why is it saying that implementing knowledge can be a challenge? What do you think there can be a challenge? Anybody? I can see the names here: Gunjan, Shailendra Gaur, Shweta Thorve as a guest. Okay, Deepika, Nishit is there. Who else are there? There are 5 more students. Okay, let me see who all are there. Mr. Piyush Kumar, Sakshi Gupta, आप लोगों को सुनाई दे रहा है सबको? हे क्लासमध्ये एवढेच शांत असतात का मॅम?
Oh, yes, sir. Nobody was going to talk, sir.
Nobody is going to talk. So how are you going to all learn? Great. So Nishit, do you want to share something why in knowledge implementation can be a challenge according to you? आपको क्यों ऐसे आपको क्या लगता है कि अगर मैं कुछ आपको सिखाऊं तो आप सीखोगे तो उसको जो इम्प्लीमेंट करना आसान नहीं होगा, ऐसे क्यों हो सकता है कभी?
Yes, sir.
क्यों? मतलब what challenges do you foresee if you can share? Any who is sharing that? Okay, so I'm going to be the teacher and I'm going to also be a student. Fantastic situation. So, yeah, what can there be a challenges? Whatever today is being implemented or taught around the world, let it be from Harvard to
The
anywhere.
change in info
Yeah,
also affect
yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
the change in technology and infrastructure.
Right, but I mean, okay, if I teach you something today, it is amazing, it is good, it is very relevant, वो एकदम apt है, and it is the happening in the world. But then my question, after learning or if I finish teaching, do you think that there can be a challenge? And if yes, what can that a challenge be? Why would there be a challenge? Because not every piece of knowledge is implementable. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So if we agree with that, then there are probabilities which arise. There are challenges which arise. And that is why today, a lot of times we see in the world of working and in corporate, they say, ये सब तो ठीक है, आप जो बोल रहे हो वो ठीक है. But the ground reality is something different. Our problems are different. Our challenges are different. Our suppliers are having a problem.
Yes, sir.
So in this scenario, the challenges can be immense. So if you have a challenge, what will you do, Nishit? आपको लग रहा है मैंने आपको कुछ सिखाया. You say this is good, I understand. मुझे समझ में आ रहा है, ये सब ठीक है, relevant है. बट मेरे पास प्रॉब्लम है, मेरी कंपनी में ये इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं हो सकता है. In that situation, what will you do?
So
Will you?
try to ensuring
We
the relevancy,
motivate the workers, sir, and give opportunity to provide opportunities.
rewarding them.
Yes,
Right. So, Aman, you're right that we have to today the challenge with the big companies, and when you step out, when you finish your education, the first and the foremost challenge you're going to see today is that whatever has been taught, be it the best or the worst, whatever it is, when you go out to be in the practical world, you will see there will be some challenges. There are going to be questions, there are going to be some troubleshooting problems, there are sometimes going to be situations where your colleagues, your company will say ऐसे कुछ नहीं होता है, हमने कभी सुना भी नहीं है, या तो ये सब बकवास है, या
yes.
तो
There is something extra in someone. कुछ
Right,
अलग होना चाहिए सर, या फिर एक्स्ट्रा नॉलेज या कुछ भी।
right. But in this situation today, we have to overcome that. So, to share a small experience where I have worked in all my life in some different companies and then my own business and consultancy, I have seen always whenever something new comes up, the team says, ये नहीं हो सकता है, ये पॉसिबल नहीं है, या तो ये ट्रेनिंग में मतलब नहीं है, या तो ये भाई साहब जो बकबक करके गए इनको कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, बट यहाँ कुछ और हो रहा है. So what I'm trying to come to the first paragraph today now is that knowledge is important. Upgrading yourself from time to time is important. How you implement it in the situation where you are. So you may work for Glaxo, you may work for Hindustan Lever, or you may work for ICICI Bank, wherever you are, you will always experience a block. In your own business also you will find it is extremely tough that whatever you learn and you want to implement, you will sometimes face challenges. But it doesn't mean that the knowledge what you have acquired is wrong. You will need to have patience, you'll have to give time, you'll have to train your colleagues, as you correctly said, Aman, that आपको आपके लोग कलीग्स को ट्रेन करना होगा, उसको आपको टाइम और पेशेंस लगेगा, and that is how only you will be able to successfully implement some things. Now another important point or another experience what I would like to share, not all knowledge can be implemented 100%. Not all can be implemented. So you need to understand your situation, get the knowledge, combine, adapt, and then implement. That is called as a smooth transition. If you just dump something, अगर आप आपके कलीग्स को जाके शॉप फ्लोर पे बोल दोगे या आपके कंपनी में बोल दोगे, या तो आप बैंक में काम कर रहे हो या कहीं पे काम कर रहे हो, न्यू से नो 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 कल से ये इम्प्लीमेंट होगा, खत्म हो गई बात, नो क्वेश्चन नो डिस्कशन, ये पढ़ लेना परसों से सब ये इम्प्लीमेंट होगा, इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल. So to way to disseminate information, to disseminate knowledge and increase productivity, quality and service, you need to introduce this in phases. You need to understand the blocks, you need to understand the challenge, and you need to fine tune it in order to reap the benefits of that knowledge management which has been acquired. Let's move to the next paragraph. Any questions till now you can ask. Otherwise, I'll go ahead. Eager to reap the benefits. Many organizations leap into knowledge management solution. Example, document management, data mining, blogging, community forums, without first considering the objectives. It is very important to understand what is the objective of this knowledge introduction. आपका टाइम नहीं जा रहा है, या आपको टाइम पास करना है, या आपके पास कंपनी के पास बहुत सारे पैसे हैं उसके लिए आप खर्चा करना चाहते हैं, इज दैट द वन, और इज इट दैट यू रियली वांट टू improve the performance or the delivery or the quality or the service. It's very important to first understand. You, all of you, when you pass out, you're going to be the next managers of tomorrow. So you'll join as an executive, you become a senior executive managers. We all want you to see you growing. So when you are growing, you need to understand how are you going and moving with the transition. So reap the benefits. Many organizations jump into knowledge management. It is very easy to say some things, but difficult to implement. So we need to first understand, as I said earlier, document management, data mining. Data is today, everybody, आप लोगों को सबको पता होगा, data is the future. I hope you all are aware. I hope you all have researched, or I hope all of you have spent enough time in understanding why is data. I will not go to data management or data mining, but the future is of data. From data, people are gathering information, understanding them, interpreting them, and then so data is also one of the knowledge management. Gone are the days when you're going to do simply doing the routine work. You'll have to keep doing from data, you will have to keep innovating. From data, you will have to understand. You will have to reframe, you will have to redesign your strategies. So, data is the future. Anybody who wants to make a career in data, it's amazing. Blogging community, without first considering the objectives they wish to fulfill or how the organization will adopt. So, without understanding, please do not jump. Understand your company, understand the problems, understand what you have learned, and then introduce it into your company. That is how it will reap the benefit. If you just think of picking it and dumping it, it's not going to work. So how the organizations will adopt and follow best practices for managing the knowledge assets in long term. What do we understand from follow best practices for managing its knowledge assets? Anybody? Aman, Nishit, what do you understand by this? कुछ अपने शब्दों में कहना चाहोगे? What do you understand by the last paragraph? How the organizations will adopt whatever you have learned, how will you adapt or adopt? No idea? Anybody having an idea? So, organizations send you for trainings, organizations introduce you to some knowledge, put you through some new skills, new trainings, some new courses, maybe
New
data,
technologies,
new technology.
providing new technologies.
Absolutely. So, artificial intelligence, I'm sure all of you have heard.
Yes, sir.
Internet of Things, I'm sure you all have heard. Blockchain, I'm sure you all have heard. If you have not heard, please spend some time after the class, go to the Google, put in blockchain or IoT or machine learning or artificial intelligence. These are the future technologies and knowledge management programs which companies are implementing from time to time to grow. And it's not only going to help for the company, it's also going to help you. How many of you understand data mining? Fine, no problem. So data is something, as I said, you got to fetch data, you got to understand your customer, you got to understand your buyer. Unless you don't understand, you're not going to go anywhere further. You may have the best of the product, but remember, in today's world, there are enough companies which are coming up in competition. So you need to be one step ahead if you want to survive. Before we go to the next slide, anybody having a question, you can ask. Otherwise, we go to the next slide. Any questions? Okay, great. So let's move to the next one, the roadblocks to success. The title itself is saying something. Roadblocks. What are the problems? Is that a right word, निशित? आपको क्या लगता है ये बराबर वर्ड है? रोड ब्लॉक्स मतलब रोड ब्लॉक्स टू सक्सेस टू so that means that I'm to give you in a simple language, it's saying आपके पढ़ाई के बाद some road blocks are going to come. What do you feel? Is that a right
Yes,
thing?
यस सर, बिकॉज सर हर जगह ही होता है सर वो तो,
हाँ बट
कोई
अभी
भी फील्ड।
हाँ रोड ब्लॉक्स तो सक्सेस हर जगह होते हैं, सवाल ही नहीं होता है। एंड विदाउट रोड ब्लॉक्स तो आप आगे जाओ भी नहीं पाओगे, आप सीख भी नहीं पाओगे, सही है ना। हाँ, जैसे प्रॉब्लम्स नहीं आएंगे तो आप आगे कैसे जाओगे। सो जब भी कभी भी प्रॉब्लम आता है तो आप क्या करते हो, यू ट्राई टू फाइंड आउट अ सोल्यूशन, यू डू सम
Solution.
रिसर्च, राइट।
Yes,
या
sir.
तो आप किसी से हेल्प मांगते हो, आपके भैया है, दीदी है, मम्मी डैडी है, दोस्त है, कॉलेज के प्रोफेसर्स है, वो देयर आर हंड्रेड्स ऑफ पीपल। एंड टुडेज इन गूगल वर्ल्ड यू विल गेट एनी पीस ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन, राइट। बट उसके
Yes, sir.
बावजूद आई हैव स्टार्टेड सेइंग रोड ब्लॉक्स टू सक्सेस। सो लेट्स सी what is it is. Transferring knowledge from any training material to any trainee is complicated. सो now don't take me wrong, मतलब गलत नहीं मानना, मैं अभी एक एग्जांपल देता हूँ। ट्रांसफरिंग नॉलेज फ्रॉम ट्रेनिंग मटेरियल टू ट्रेनिंग, यही मेरे को एक चैलेंज है क्लास में, बड़ा एक मजेदार चैलेंज है। मैं यहाँ सिखा रहा हूँ, आप ट्रेनी हो, बट ये नॉलेज मेरे को यहाँ से वहाँ शेयर करने में दिक्कत आ रही है। क्यों आ रही है अमन?
यस सर।
क्यों चैलेंज आ रही है मेरे को? ट्रांसफरिंग नॉलेज फ्रॉम ट्रेनिंग मटेरियल टू ट्रेनी कैन बी कॉम्प्लिकेटेड।
Sir, lack of proper attention between the attendee and the presenter.
करेक्ट, फंटास्टिक। एनीबडी एल्स? अमन आपको क्या लगता है क्यों मेरे को चैलेंज हो रहा है?
सर बिकॉज
It's gap
हम
communication
फेस टू
between
फेस
both of them.
कम्युनिकेशन प्रॉब्लम आ रही है सर, फेस टू फेस मतलब इंटरेक्शन उतना अच्छा नहीं हो पा रहा सर घर पे।
हाँ बट लेकिन अभी कैसे कि भाई ये टेक्नोलॉजी का दौर है, सही है ना अमन जी।
यस
ये
सर।
टेक्नोलॉजी में आप अभी अगर देखोगे तो अगले साल मतलब फ्रॉम यहाँ से आगे आप कभी भी जाओगे तो लोग तो कम ही कम मिलने लगेंगे।
यस सर, थोड़ा एडाप्टेशन चेंज करना पड़ेगा लोगों को, पहले जैसे हमारा ये था पहले का सोच, तो
सही है।
थोड़ा चेंजिंग लानी पड़ेगी उसमें।
या सो ये बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है आज के तारीख में, हम लोगों को समझना होगा कि यहाँ से आगे जाके आपको आपके टीचर्स या बॉसेस या कलीग, बिजनेस कलीग्स या दोस्त मिल पाएंगे, भैया या दीदी मिल पाएगी, पापा मम्मी मिलेंगे। लेकिन बिजनेस वाले तो अब ऐसे ही बोलेंगे, भाई अमन तुमको जो कुछ बेचना है वो कंप्यूटर पे बता देना, सैंपल का एक फोटो भिजवा देना, स्पेसिफिकेशंस भिजवा देना, कॉस्ट भिजवा देना, डिटेल्स ईमेल पे, खत्म हो गई बात।
यस सर।
So we in this way today we have to understand, हम लोगों को एक हमारे बीच में एक इनकॉर्पोरेट करना होगा कि इसके आगे का सब जो कोई नॉलेज आएगा ये ऑनलाइन ही आएगा। इट इज डिफिकल्ट, इट इज एक्सट्रीमली डिफिकल्ट बिकॉज अभी देखो मैं खुद भी पढ़ाई कर रहा हूँ, मैंने जैसे आप लोगों को बताया मैं मेरा सेकंड मास्टर्स कर रहा हूँ, आईआईएम से भी एक एग्जीक्यूटिव मैनेजमेंट प्रोग्राम, वो लोग 4-4 घंटे क्लास ले रहे हैं और मैं मतलब सप्लाई चेन में इतने साल काम करने के बाद भी मैं भी ऐसे परेशान होके बोल रहा हूँ यार ये तो इतना एक्सपीरियंस होने के बावजूद भी ऐसा लगता है ये चैलेंज है। बट विथ टाइम वी हैव टू डू व्हाट, क्या करना होगा?
Sir, we have to focus on the
करेक्ट,
best.
correct, we'll have to focus, we'll have to adapt, we'll have to get increasingly adjusted. If it is a challenge, this is what is exactly we I teach in entrepreneurship and innovation. An entrepreneur is somebody who is flexible and ready to adapt. अगर हम लोग अडेप्ट नहीं कर पाते हैं तो हम लोग पीछे रह जाएंगे।
Yes, sir.
अभी क्लास में कितने जन हैं? 15 जन है। बात कितने कर रहे हैं लोग? 2 जन। 13 जन को मेरे को समझ में नहीं आ रहा है मैं कुछ बोल रहा हूं या बकबक कर रहा हूं, क्योंकि वो लोग बात ही नहीं कर रहे हैं। अभी इस सिचुएशन को मैं टर्न करूंगा कंपनी में, आप एक कंपनी में बैठे हो, आपको कोई ट्रेनिंग दे रहा है, लेकिन 15 में से खाली 2 ही जन बात कर रहे हैं, 13 जन बात नहीं करेंगे. What will be the trainer thinking like? आपको क्या लगता है ट्रेनर की क्या हालत होगी?
He is totally frustrated, sir.
उसको ऐसा लगेगा क्या हो रहा है, कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. मैं ठीक सिखा रहा हूँ, वहां पहुंच रहा है, सुनाई दे रहा है, समझ में आ रहा है. So the roadblocks to
Sir, he
success.
fe-
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
no, sir. You continue.
Yeah. So the why I put the first line in block in the caps, roadblocks to success. We need to understand information is something, knowledge is something which will go two ways. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
अगर नॉलेज खाली एक ही तरफ होगा तो दूसरी तरफ क्या हो रहा है कुछ समझ में नहीं आएगा. So knowledge management will be always interactive. Knowledge management will be always adaptive and adoptive. So the first word is interaction. Because of interaction क्या हो रहा है, अमन क्या बात कर रहा है, निशित क्या बात कर रहा है, ये मेरे को कुछ समझ में आ रहा है. मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ वो उनकी तरफ पहुंच रहा है, उसके लिए उनका कुछ जवाब आ रहा है. तो इसमें से मेरे को ये भी समझ में आ रहा है कि वो लोग अलर्ट है, सुन रहे हैं, उनके कुछ डाउट्स है या तो वो कुछ पॉइंट्स एक्सप्रेस कर रहे हैं. इससे नॉलेज, it is a two-way sharing of knowledge, and always we need to remember when you step out, आपकी जब पढ़ाई खत्म होती है और आप जब काम करने लगते हो, बीट आपका बिजनेस हो या आप कोई कंपनी में काम करो, ये नॉलेज मैनेजमेंट हमेशा टू वे रहेगा. अगर ये टू वे नहीं रहेगा तो इसका कोई मायने नहीं रखता है. एंड दैट इज व्हाई देयर इज अ प्रॉब्लम इन द वर्ल्ड टुडे. व्हाई आर आउट ऑफ 10 businesses 7 businesses struggling or not doing well or not able to understand and do progress as expected? We need to understand this. They are not failing because of there is no market. They are not failing because they don't have the money. They are not failing because they don't have a right idea. We all are born entrepreneurs. We all are intelligent enough. कोई गधा नहीं होता है. Nobody is a fool. Nobody is a failure.
So because they are, because they can't developing their strategy.
Absolutely. Just by acquiring, आपने अभी आप लोग सब बैचलर्स के स्टूडेंट्स हो, राइट?
Yes, sir.
तो आपकी 3 साल की पढ़ाई हो गई है अभी. 12th के बाद आप लोग सब यहाँ आ गए 3 साल. मेरे ख्याल से अगले साल, आई डोंट नो वेदर यू आर थर्ड ईयर स्टूडेंट्स, बट इफ यू आर थर्ड ईयर देन दैट मीन्स यू पास आउट द नेक्स्ट ईयर, राइट?
Yes,
या
sir.
ये साल पास हो जाओगे. अब ये 3 साल में आपने जो नॉलेज एक्यूमुलेट किया है, all those who have been awake in the class, awake मतलब सब जो लोग जाग रहे थे और जो क्लास में इक्वली हर टाइम प्रेजेंट रहे थे, और जो लोगों ने टीचर्स के साथ टू वे नॉलेज को ये किया है, अपने असाइनमेंट्स अच्छे से रिसर्च किए हैं या तो टीचर्स के साथ इंटरेक्ट किया है, बुक्स पढ़े हैं, रिसर्च किया, प्रेजेंटेशंस किए, दे विल नेवर हैव अ प्रॉब्लम. It's as simple as that. And that is what is knowledge management. It's always going to be two-way. Add to the fact that knowledge transfer can happen between employees in an informal situation. And a stepless chase at the Olympics seems like a piece of cake compared to creating and delivering a successful training program. Sometimes I have seen in a few cases, in one of the companies where I was doing some consultancy, they had a very small, this was a very small company, 150-200 लोगों की मस्त छोटी कंपनी थी, and they had some supply chain challenges, so मैं उनको consult कर रहा था, and they had some fantastic working team, worker level पे, shop floor पे. Their bosses जो वाइट कॉलर थे, टाई पहन के बैठते थे ऊपर एयर कंडीशन में, उनको हैंडल करने में मेरे को बहुत सारी दिक्कत आ रही थी, बिकॉज दे वर एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरीली ओवर कॉन्फिडेंट. बट द एम्प्लॉईज, the knowledge transfer can happen between employees in an informal situation. This example is so particular and pertinent. ये इतना अहमियत रखता है मैं जब दे रहा हूँ आपको, बिकॉज ये जो वर्किंग जो शॉप फ्लोर के जो स्टाफ थे, आईटीआई के ऊपर नहीं पढ़े थे, आईटीआई एनसीटीवीटी के ऊपर नहीं पढ़े थे, और जो बड़े लोग बैठे थे वो एमबीए के ऊपर थे. उनको मेरे को सिखाने में तकलीफ हो रही है, समझाने में तकलीफ हो रही है, और ग्राउंड लेवल पे जो लोग हैं वो इतने अडेप्टिव थे that they said they themselves came forward. सर ये हम लोग ऐसे कर सकते हैं, ये इधर चैलेंज आ सकता है, ये ट्रेनिंग के टाइम पे हम लोगों को ये समझाया गया था, तो हम लोग ने ये कोशिश करके ऐसे इम्प्रूव किया. See the change, see how people adapt, how it can help the business to grow, how the company can grow. So नॉलेज मैनेजमेंट का जो ट्रांसफर है, ये फॉर्मल और इनफॉर्मल कंटिन्यूस ongoing process है. It is just not that you will finish your education और आप बोलोगे अब खत्म हो गई मेरी पढ़ाई, बाढ़ में जाने दो, मेरे को इसके आगे कुछ नहीं देखना है, वो बुक नहीं देखना है, वो टीचर नहीं देखना है, ऐसे नहीं है. फॉर्मल इनफॉर्मल वे, एग्जाम्पल्स हेल्प यू. So you have to look in between and see in the thin lines as to what are the teachers teaching you, what are the keys, what is that some particular situation what the teacher has given. आपने कोई केस स्टडी पढ़ी, हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू लाइक टू रीड केस स्टडीज? आप पढ़ते हो अमन, निशित, केस स्टडीज?
Yes, sir.
बढ़िया. So what has been your experience? You have now three situation. आप बुक से भी पढ़ रहे हो, टीचर्स भी पढ़ा रहे हैं, और आप थोड़े अलग जर्नल्स भी पढ़ते हो और केस स्टडीज भी पढ़ते हो. हाउ डू यू ब्रिंग एवरीथिंग टुगेदर? केस स्टडीज से क्या लगता है?
केस स्टडी सर एक टाइप का एक्सपीरियंस है.
बढ़िया. उससे आपको क्या लगता है, हैज इट एडेड टू नॉलेज? अमन, आपको, आप पढ़ते हो केस स्टडीज?
सर मैं उतना नहीं मतलब पढ़ता सर, कभी कभार कोई इम्पोर्टेंट रहा तो.
Right. So a small hint, case studies is a very good tool to improve knowledge. These are practical situations which the people have faced, have gone through, have experienced it. And that is what helps you also in when you are going to step out after your studies. These case studies are also a part of knowledge management, knowledge transfer management, that how a particular problem was handled, how has it been successful. It is not necessary that if they have succeeded you will succeed, but it gives you what? Learning. आप
Sir, it
सीखते हो
provides
इससे.
us a deep highlights about the case study,
Great.
so we can achieve the success.
Absolutely. Very good. Perfect. So, to all of you in the class who are awake and who are participating and that not sleeping, or are awake but sleeping, or whatever case study, मैं हमेशा कहता हूँ there are two categories. One present in the physically present, mentally absent. One physically and mentally absent, only present. So all of them get into the mode of learning and reading case studies. A successful training program is one that delivers the right piece of information in the right format to the right employee and at the right time. So it is also important what are we learning. तो समझो मैं बिजनेस मैनेजमेंट का ग्रेजुएट हूँ, बट अगर मेरे को कल कोई इंजीनियरिंग पढ़ाने लगे तो एक बेसिक लेवल तो ठीक है, राइट, बट उसके आगे मेरे को ये हो जाएगा यार मैं ये क्यों कर रहा हूँ. So when we are going through knowledge management, we also need to ensure that are we developing trainings, or are we imparting trainings, or are we attending trainings which are useful to us?
Sir, or we are in on the right goal or not.
Yes. So जो मैंने एग्जांपल दिया इंजीनियरिंग का कुछ बेसिक हो तो ठीक है, बट बहुत सारा इंजीनियरिंग डीप नॉलेज जाऊंगा तो डू यू थिंक आई विल बी रियली इंटरेस्टेड? मे बी एक 2-4 दिन का प्रोग्राम होगा तो ठीक है, बट एडवांस प्रोग्राम्स, हाई एडवांस, या. So critical also, when you are going, as you're going to be managers of tomorrow, your company will empower. कोई कहेगा भाई निश्चित तुम्हारे अंडर जो 25 जन की टीम है उनको हमको फाइनेंस का ट्रेनिंग देना है, या तो हमको उनको किसी ऑपरेशंस का ट्रेनिंग देना है. नाउ व्हाट विल हैपन? यू आर द मैनेजर निश्चित. आप अगर मार्केटिंग के हेड हो तो my first line is very successful training program, one that delivers right piece of information, right format, right employee, and at the right time. जो कुछ करोगे नॉलेज ट्रांसफर वो सही मायने में होना चाहिए. जस्ट खाली कंपनी ने बोल दिया, मैंने काफी टाइम्स ऐसे देखे हैं. I have attended a lot of training programs. I conduct a lot of training programs for corporates. I also do some training programs for colleges, faculty. So मैंने कभी कभार ऐसे ही मतलब हंसी मजाक में बहुत सारे लोगों को बोलते हुए देखा है, अरे यार वो कंपनी ने बोल दिया तो मैं आ गया, वैसे मेरे को इससे कोई लेना देना नहीं है. एंड देन यू समटाइम्स आस्क कि मार्केटिंग के लिए कि इंजीनियरिंग का आदमी आके गया या तो फाइनेंस का आदमी आके गया, तो वो फाइनेंस वाला बोलता है साहब सच में बताऊं ये तो वेस्ट ऑफ टाइम है, मेरा पूरा 10-12 घंटा एक फाइनेंस में जाता है, मार्केटिंग के छोटे मोटे प्रॉब्लम्स मेरे को समझ में आ गए तो ठीक है, बट 4 दिन का प्रोग्राम, 5 दिन का प्रोग्राम, आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू यूज एनी ऑफ दिस. Now you see how a wrong person is at a wrong place at a wrong time. What is happening over here? Waste of time, waste of resources, waste of energy, waste of money. So when you're transferring knowledge, you need to ensure you are picking up the right person. Has he put in 2 years of time? How advanced is it? How senior is he? ये ट्रेनिंग एडवांस है या मीडियम लेवल का है? ये नॉलेज ट्रांसफर बेसिक्स है क्या, फ्रेशर्स के लिए है क्या, is it for interns? Who goes where, why is important. Also when you're going to as for attend any programs in the world, executive programs, so your knowledge transfer, see what are the contents. Just don't attend for the piece of paper. Am I right? वो सीखोगे
Yes,
तो उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करोगे, या तो फिर घर में जाके पापा मम्मी को सर्टिफिकेट बता के तो कुछ फायदा नहीं है. पापा मम्मी तो खुशी हो जाएंगे, लेकिन करियर में आगे किसको बढ़ना है? अमन को बढ़ना है, सही है ना?
yes, sir.
पापा मम्मी नहीं बढ़ेंगे, वो पीस ऑफ पेपर अमन के काम का है या निशित का है, या तो ये क्लास में सब जन जो शांत बैठे हुए हैं उनका है. तो उनको इसका they should be able to use this for successfully stepping in their career. Remember, in the corporate world, when you're going to get jobs, there are going to be some smart people interviewing you, and they can ask you, सर आपने ये आईएम से एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप का किया, आपने क्या एक चीज ऐसी सीखी जो आप हमारे कंपनी के दे सकते हो? Now this is a challenging question. Attending is different. Let's go ahead. This leads to better employee performance, as I have said, which in turns leads to better business results. But there are quite a few rights in the first sentence. As I pointed out with the correct example earlier, successful training program के लिए फॉर्मेट राइट होना चाहिए, एम्प्लॉयज भी उतने ये होने चाहिए, एडेप्टिव होने चाहिए, और उसको राइट टाइम पे लो. A lot of times I will share another piece of learning what I have seen. These training programs are called as mini holidays. तो लोग क्यों आते हैं ये ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम के लिए? वो कहते हैं यार बढ़िया है, 4 दिन के लिए बॉस के दिमाग से छुटकारा मिल गया. तो हम कभी कभार पूछते हैं भाई बॉस से तो छुटकारा मिल गया, अब यहाँ आके बैठे हो तो कुछ तो एक्वायर करोगे. बोलते सर आप बोलते रहो, हम सुनते रहेंगे, समझ में आ गया तो ठीक है, या तो हमको ज़्यादा टेंशन नहीं है, वो कंपनी ने पैसे भर दिए, हम यहाँ पहुँच गए. It should not be there. And one more piece of advice to all of you who are graduating: the future years is going to be very challenging. So whatever you learn, ensure you're giving 100%. Otherwise, your jobs are at stakes. Getting a job is not easy. It's not going to be easy. So remember this. So what can go wrong? Understanding what can go wrong along the way is the first step in avoiding or overcoming a potential roadblock. So let's explore a few of the most common things that can prevent knowledge transfer from happening during the training program as well. इसको थोड़ा नीचे कर सकते हैं क्या निशित, बिकॉज वो नीचे का ये कुछ हाइड हो रहा है, या तो 1 सेकेंड ना.
सर कौन सी लाइन हाइड हुई है?
1 मिनट. व्हाट कैन गो रॉन्ग? ओके, आई एम, यू कैन हियर मी, ऑल ऑफ यू कैन हियर मी राइट?
ओ सर इट इज क्लियर सर.
अच्छा अच्छा, 1 मिनट. हाँ, क्या हो गया, मेरे को वो हाइड हो रहा है मेरे इधर, वो ये जो टूल बार है ना उसके, हाँ तो सो उसके आगे वाला. It's okay. I can read it from my presentation. No worries. So let's explore the few of the most common things that can prevent knowledge transfer from happening during a training program, as well as the available means of solving each problem. The roadblocks to success in knowledge management. आप आगे आ गए ना निशित? Yeah. Transferring knowledge to any training is can that knowledge can happen in an informal situation. ये आगे जाना है निशित. We have to click next.
ओके सर.
Yeah. The physical and mental state of employees. This can be the best ally to knowledge transfer in or its worst headsman. The thing is, how someone feels during the learning process greatly impacts his or her capacity of acquiring new information. It's very important, as I spoke earlier. The mental state of employees. The mental state. Now, what do you mean by mental state? Anybody? Mental state मतलब इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि वो पागल है, ये या वो पागल है. Okay. Mental state of employee, it is very important when you are enrolling for your studies. What are you enrolling for? Are you really interested in that? Do you know what is business management, or do you know what is marketing or human resource or operations or supply chain? It is very pertinent. The first more important thing. Now, today in the world of knowledge, and pardon me because ma'am is over here. So, ma'am, with due respect to how learning is today, I'm slightly diverting for a minute. Today in India, the studies are done in such a way sometimes, अरे यार enroll हो जाओ, pass हो जाओगे. It's not going to be like that anymore henceforth. It is very important for us to understand before you step out is whatever you are learning, you're giving your 100%. If you're not going to give it, you're not going to be successful when you're stepping out. You have to pass the interviews. You have to deliver for your company. And that's only going to come through knowledge transfer. So, what is knowledge transfer? Whatever you have been learning for the last 2 years or 3 years from your teachers is being knowledge transfer. The thing is, somehow feels the learning process greatly impacts his or her capacity of acquiring new information. Having hunger to acquire new information, कुछ तो नया सीखना है, मुझे कुछ नया सीखना होगा, तब मुझे जाके कुछ अच्छा जॉब मिलेगा, मुझे कुछ नया बिजनेस में करना होगा, तब जाके मेरा बिजनेस आगे बढ़ेगा. When I started my career in 1987, there was something called as 9 to 5 job. मैं 9 बजे पहुंचता था, 5 बजे घर में निकल के आ जाता था. 4 or 5 years later, till date today, I almost work 17 to 18 hours. Few of them say तुम पागल हो. You all may feel अरे ये क्यों 17-15 घंटे काम कर रहा है. The business has a lot of competition. There are better employees than you. If you are not hungry, you're not going to survive. If you're not going to learn something new, you cannot survive. If you do not give 100% of yours, you will not be there. 9 to 5 जॉब अब चला गया. जो लोग वो ख्वाब देख रहे हैं, उनको थोड़ा जागना होगा. अगर आपको लग रहा है कि आपका बिजनेस है, पापा ने 100 साल बिजनेस किया, दादाजी ने किया, अब मुझे भी बैठ के मिल जाएगा, तो वो तो होने से हो गया. That phase of life is gone. You pick up anything from A to Z, there is competition. You pick up anything from A to Z, there are better people than you. There's better quality, better product, better pricing, better delivery, better after sales. The challenges are immense. Profit is shrinking, challenges are increasing. The best of the big companies are today finding it difficult. To give you an example, Hindustan Lever, Procter and Gamble, Henkel, they produce soaps for washing clothes. They have washing machine detergents and blah blah blah. They had a virtual monopoly. These are international companies. How many of you have heard the name Nirma? सबने सुना होगा. पीयूष, सॉरी,
Yes,
अमन, आपने भी सुना होगा.
yes,
सही
sir.
है. अब ये निर्मा जैसी कंपनी जो गुजरात में चालू हो गई है, डज अ टर्नओवर ऑफ अबाउट 1500 to 2000 crores.
Yes, sir.
क्या हो रहा है? दे आर कॉम्पिटिंग विथ multinational companies.
Companies. Yes, sir.
So now these companies have to get up. During this last 1.5-2 years, the Ayurveda thing picked up. बाबा रामदेव जी की कंपनी है. आई एम
Patanjali
नॉट मार्क. हाँ, पतंजलि इज डूइंग एक्सट्रीमली वेल. व्हाट हैपेंड? Colgate, Hindustan Lever, yeah,
developing in new innovations, sir.
absolutely. And that is why the physical and mental state, आप जो करोगे वो आपको अभी 100% दे के करना होगा. इट इज़ नॉट गोइंग टू बी जस्ट यहाँ से ले लिया, यहाँ डाल दिया. मतलब काफ़ी हमारे पढ़ाई के दिन पे बोलते थे, हाँ यहाँ से बहुत प्रोफेसर बक रहा है, मैं सुन रहा हूँ, क्लास के बाहर जाके भूल गया. दैट डेज आर गॉन. So my next paragraph says hunger, headaches, and other types of physical pain, the common cold, depression, stress over a loved one, or just a few examples of things that are hinders a person's ability to remember what he or she learns. With this, I will want to add with hunger, hunger for knowledge, hunger to learn something new, hunger to read, hunger to find some gaps in the case study. ऐसे क्यों हुआ? क्या हुआ? Why did they go wrong? What did they do right? You will have to challenge yourself. If you're not challenging, you're doing the 9 to 5 job. And as I said, 9 to 5 job ab chala gaya. There's no 9 to 5. मेरे बिजनेस में भी देयर इज नो 9 to 5। कल रात को मैं 11 बजे तक काम कर रहा था। कल क्या डे था निशित?
Yes, sir.
यस्टरडे व्हाट वाज द डे?
Sunday, sir.
संडे को क्या होता है?
Holiday, sir. Weekend.
हाँ, फिर भी मैं रात को क्या कर रहा था?
Sir, doing your job.
टिल रात को 11 बजे।
Yes, sir.
So yesterday I did not have a holiday. If I want to succeed, the roadblocks have to go.
Yes, sir.
If you have roadblocks in your mind, please, please, please kindly remove them. The first and the foremost roadblock is to open and speak. If you don't speak, that means there is a roadblock. And if you have a roadblock, there is a problem. So we need to remove that problems. So क्लास में जो लोग जितने लोग 13 लोग जो बात नहीं कर रहे हैं, यहाँ बात नहीं करेगा तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. I'm going to teach you only for 4 hours. But when you're going to step out, एग्जाम में तो बात करोगे, होपफुली बात करना पड़ेगा ना, तो डिग्री नहीं मिलेगी. और जब जॉब पे जाओगे, इंटरव्यू करोगे, दोगे, या तो इंटरव्यू का अपॉइंटमेंट होगा, तो खुद कोशिश करनी होगी और बात करनी होगी, तब जाके आप सक्सेसफुल होगे. एम आई राइट मैम?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
I
Yes,
hope
sir.
I hope I'm not oversharing, sharing something less, but I think it is important to, it is pertinent to share it, because I can only hear two people speaking. So that is why I think I should make continuous attempts for people to talk. Let's go to the next paragraph. Since the physical and mental well-being of employees is one of the most unpredictable factors that can negatively affect learning and knowledge transfer, training professionals don't have that many options in overcoming this. However, creating and maintaining a safe learning environment where people are allowed to make mistakes is a good first step. Mistake is a part of life. We all keep doing mistakes. I make mistakes. Yesterday I had a small exam, mistakes. इतने सालों के बाद भी मैं mistakes कर रहा हूँ. So mistakes is a part of life. But being a physical and mental well-being of employees is one of the most unpredictable factor that can affect negatively in learning and knowledge transfer. Do you agree to this?
Sir.
क्यों? Any reason particular? ऐसे क्या हो सकता है? This knowledge transfer, या knowledge management, what we are talking today, it is for your good. Am I right, Nishit?
Yes, sir.
Aman? Am I right? आप है क्लास में? So if we say that this is for our benefit, then what is that it is going to go wrong? See, training and knowledge transfer, as I said, is not a rocket science. It's a simple phenomenon. एक सिंपल सा कंसेप्ट है. मैं यहाँ से वहाँ आपको एक नॉलेज शेयर कर रहा हूँ, या ट्रेनिंग दे रहा हूँ, या तो आपको एक स्पेशलाइज्ड ट्रेनिंग दे रहा हूँ, जिससे आपको आपके काम में यू विल बी बेनिफिटेड. एम आई राइट? So it's not that something which is going out of the go. So एक marketing fellow, let's take an example. If you're from marketing and somebody is going to say, no, we have some 1 day specialized training for you for finance. 1 day is fine. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Why? Because it's going to, it can have a curriculum, it can have some a structured process which says this is for marketing team, basics of finance. So that will give them the idea of what is finance, how to calculate interest, invoicing, recoveries, statements. you know, coordinating, preparing quotations, pricing, so that a lot of times I see today the world is shrinking and the responsibilities are growing. To give you an example, earlier when I was in a supply chain team couple of years back, it used to be a team of around 8 to 10 people. So we had distributed procurement, transport, warehouse, and distribution. We had liberty, we had the team. Today, that same team is just 3 people. So the responsibilities have grown, the team has shrunk. Team kam ho gayi. So in these situations, we need to ensure that how we can optimally use them, use their skills, resources, trainings is extremely important so that they learn quickly. Making mistakes is going to be part of the trainings or part of the life or part of the job. Making mistakes and learning is our process. Continuous mistakes is a big problem. Then effect means that the employee has a problem. So roadblocks to success. Can we go next? The next slide. Anybody having a question till now? No questions?
No,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. Lost focus. Lost focus speaks for itself. People are not focusing on what they are. A lot of times we come through a situation where you see the employees, you must have heard, you may have overheard your relatives, friends telling you, yaar job to badhiya hai, company achhi hai, but I'm not enjoying. Yeah, the boss is not right. You see a lot of times, a lot of examples coming from around the places. Now it does happen. It does happen. It's not necessary that all of us get the right thing what we want in our life. But does that mean that we just lose the focus? We can't. I always tell people, each and every opportunity which comes to you in your life gives you something to learn. When we were doing our masters way back in 1995, the youngest CEO was of the age of 45 to 55. This is very important, and this is very directly related to what I have done the presentation over here on lost focus. So it's very important to learn this and hear this. Today's CEOs of global MNCs are from 29 to 35. How many of you know I am not aware? If you are aware, fantastic. If you are not aware, this is something for you. So, what has happened? How is there a dynamic change? Why would anybody make you a CEO at the age of 29? And I'm not talking of a small company, I'm talking of a big company. Anybody? The today's CEOs, they complete MBAs anytime between 24 to 25 प्लस माइनस 23 पे भी कंप्लीट किए हुए सीईओज हैं, कोई जन ने 25 तक कंप्लीट किया है. इट डिपेंड्स. In MNCs, I can't take the names because of the safety. I've seen and come across some CEOs who are extremely dynamic and leading a team of employees of 7,000 to 12,000 globally. Not in India, not in Rajasthan, not in Pune or Manipur or Uttar Pradesh. Around the world, anything between 7,000 to 12,000 employees. This is to encourage you, and hopefully you will take this as an inspiration if you all are awake. Why and how are they at coming to this stage? At becoming a CEO, joining at 23 and becoming a CEO at 28 or 29, is it easy? Come on, let's wake up. आप लोगों को यहाँ कुछ सीखने मिल रहा है, एक इंस्पिरेशन है. Maybe Nishit, you become a CEO of a company at the age of 29. We want you to
Yes.
become a CEO. आपको कैसे ऐसे क्या लग रहा है कि ये एमएनसी इसको सीईओ 5 साल में कैसे बना देगी?
Sir, by my hard work,
Yes, you want to add something to it?
uh, by seeing that how I'm tackling tackling the problems and providing them the strategies to face them.
Fantastic. Anything more you want to add? Good. Add to it. You're on the right track.
So, so by providing motivation to the employees
Fantastic.
with a good mindset of leadership,
Fantastic.
and,
Keep adding. You're on the right track.
uh,
Add. You're out on the
be
right track.
and I can be like a leader, not a boss.
Yes. So today's CEOs are going through internally in these large corporations, what I'm talking of 7,000 employees to 12,000 employees globally. They have 10 to 12 divisions within finance, marketing, designing, prototyping, supply chain. I mean, administration and HR, which is together. 8-10 डिपार्टमेंट्स को 5 साल में अंडरस्टैंड करके एक सीईओ बनना is not a easy thing. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
That's focus. In knowledge management, focus is one of the most important things what one needs to have. If you do not have focus, you're not going to go anywhere. If you think you're going to just get the degree behind you, maybe I become a bachelor's, I am a master's, and then I do a PhD और मास्टर्स में हार्वर्ड से करूँगा. तो हार्वर्ड से करोगे तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि आपको कंपनी पकड़ के बोलेगी अरे भाई साहब आपने हार्वर्ड से ग्रेजुएट हो गए हो, अब आपको सीईओ की कुर्सी खाली पड़ी है, आके बैठ जाओ.
Yes, sir.
Doesn't happen. People lose focus. I'm reading the paragraph. Either they can, people lose focus easier than we care to admit. We are not focused, let's admit. We are not channelized. We are not understanding exactly what do we want. We are sometimes only here to acquire that piece of paper. But that piece of paper is not important. It goes beyond that. The infamous Microsoft report stating that even the goldfish stands better than humans. Listen, it's very important. Regarding attention span does not help. Here in the mere class is a classic example. I have only 2 people who are participating. Rest all I have no idea whether they have the attention to what I'm talking or what I'm sharing or what is happening. I'm merely talking. It's very important to understand knowledge management, sharing of knowledge, transfer of knowledge. It's just not about speaking, reading, or PPTs or case studies. It's equally about also being attentive, participating, sharing, debating, arguing, presenting your learning, your knowledge, my knowledge, It's a two-way. I come back to it again. It's important to understand this example. Now, by giving this example, I'm not trying to say that you students are wrong. I leave that to you. I'm not here to prove anything. I'm here to teach, and that is what I'm supposed to do. People can focus for more than few seconds actually, with intense focus stretching up for up to 20 minutes. But reaching the state of intense focus can be incredibly hard in today's distraction riddled workplace. Now, the last paragraph, but reaching this in state of intense focus can be incredibly hard. Is it so hard? Is focusing so hard? Is achieving a goal so hard?
No, sir.
Anybody else wanting to answer? Aman? और तो कोई क्लास में किसी को पूछ नहीं सकता हूँ, बस दो ही नाम या दिखते हैं जो हाँ या ना बोलते हैं. So let's go again come to one example of these CEOs who are achieving this amazing success at the age of 28 of companies, big companies. The only sole thing what they are doing post their studies is nothing more, nothing less. Focus. If you're not dedicated, if you're not focused, you're not reaching there. It's as simple as that. By merely acquiring piece of papers, the piece of paper is extremely important. All those who have studied, focus on what your teachers have taught you in the last 2 years, are focusing on the examples what your teachers have given. If you have been really doing that, you will have no problems in getting jobs. Let me assure you. I go to companies, I am on interview panels. मेरे को 5 मिनट में समझ में आता है ये एप्लीकेंट ने अपने पढ़ाई पे क्या ध्यान दिया है और आगे कैसे ये करेगा. 5 मिनट में समझ में आता है. मैं उस पीस ऑफ पेपर को बिल्कुल कभी नहीं देखता हूँ. उसको फर्स्ट क्लास मिला है, थर्ड क्लास मिला है, या तो वो धक्के खाके पास हुआ है या ईटी कीटी किया हुआ है, मुझे कोई लेने देना नहीं है. At two companies, I have recruited one guy who had all the 3 years ETKT. मेरे को वो कंपनी ने वो इंटरव्यू के बाद कहा, सर आप इसको रेकमेंड कर रहे हो, ये तो सर धक्के खा के आगे आया हुआ है. आई टोल्ड देम, जस्ट वॉच दैट गाय, ट्रेन हिम, गिव हिम द अपॉर्चुनिटी, improve his skills, see where he is good. It's nearly 4.5 years back. He passed out of an engineer. It was an engineering college. I'm sorry. 4 years का था और 3 साल उसको ईटी कीटी थे. तीन तीन सब्जेक्ट्स में थे. Listen to this example. It's very important. And this guy is today leading a team of 200 people in that company. उस इंजीनियरिंग डिग्री का और उसके लीडिंग का कोई ये नहीं था. He was extremely focused on what he wanted to do. And he's doing extremely well, and I'm so happy for him. So focus is extremely important. With all this in mind, we are going to the next step. Learning and development professionals can turn to a variety of tactics to help employees focus. I have just given you an example. We as teachers, I as a training manager or as a manager or a boss or an owner needs to focus, can turn into a variety of tactics to help employees focus while learning and remaining knowledgeable. It is extremely important. How can you keep the employee motivated? How can I keep you all motivated? मैं ऐसे क्या कर सकता हूँ? What jadoo can I do that I make you all speak? That is the art. If I cannot, then there is a problem. That means I need to improvise. I need to do something. या तो प्रतिमा मैम हैज टू नाउ टेल मी दैट 4 आवर्स की ये टीचिंग के लिए आप 10 मार्क्स दे दो.
Sir,
So when yeah, somebody was saying something. So now by the time ma'am says something या 10 मार्क्स दे दो and in after 4 hours अगर आप बोलोगे कि आप ये स्टूडेंट को इतना ही मिलना चाहिए, will that motivate? Will that wake the students up? It's important in learning and development. I again say it is a two-way process. I can keep talking endlessly, but if it is not going to go on the other side, and if the other side is not going to be sharing or participative, learning and development, knowledge management, knowledge sharing has no meaning. मैं अभी घर पे बैठ के ये ट्रेनिंग दे रहा हूँ और मेरे सामने एक टेलीविजन है एंड बिग वॉल है और एक बाजू में किचन है. So sometimes I feel, am I talking to the television or the wall or the kitchen के सब equipment? Each module should have a clear learning objective. What is my objective of this learning? All training modules in a course should have clear structure and learners should be able to easily navigate between them. Also, gamification techniques and interactive elements help in transferring knowledge to the learners. Interactive elements should be included within the course to make content as engaging as possible. So to engage, interactive content is necessary. So as a part of knowledge management, this is supposed to happen when you step out and you're going to either work in a company or work in your own business, be it any situation. You can be a consultant. You need to include this in order to ensure that we have an interactive learning of knowledge management or transfer of knowledge. Can we go to the next slide? Faulty technology, wrong things at a wrong place at a wrong time can lead to chaos. So I will begin with an example. Before I get to the example of this, any questions? Anybody has questions till now?
No, sir.
Nobody has questions? Going seemingly smooth?
Yes, sir.
सब ठीक ठाक चल रहा है? कुछ बाउंसर जा रहा है, कुछ
No, sir.
फास्ट,
No.
कुछ स्लो जा रहा हूँ तो भी बता दीजिए. तो आई कैन, यू वांट सम मोर एग्जांपल, आई कैन गिव यू सम. मेरे पास काफ़ी सारे एग्जांपल है बिकॉज 30 साल से काम कर रहा हूँ तो तरह तरह के एग्जांपल्स है. तो अगर आपको लग रहा है कि किसी चीज़ पे आपको कोई एग्जांपल और देना जरूरी लगता है तो जरूर पूछिए. I can give that example so that learning becomes more easier. ठीक है?
Yes.
Okay. So faulty technology. So I will begin with some example, and I have already given some example to you over there. Love it or hate it, technology is here to stay, as its advantages clearly overcome its drawbacks. दिस इज़ वेरी इम्पॉर्टेंट कि टेक्नोलॉजी एक तरह से हमको काफ़ी सारी हेल्प कर रही है, बट एक तरह से इसके प्रॉब्लम्स है. जैसे मैं क्लास शुरू होने से पहले 5-10 मिनट से यहाँ से वहाँ, वहाँ से यहाँ कुछ कर रहा था, एंड थैंक्स टू मैम गेटिंग इन्वॉल्व एंड नीतीश ने वो फटाफट डाउनलोड करके कर लिया. बट अदरवाइज यू कुड सी देयर वाज अ टेक्नोलॉजिकल glitch. So a couple of months, not months, but say about 4-5 years back, again I was in an engineering company doing some consultancy for supply chain, and this was a very स्मॉल कंपनी, बट उनके जो प्रोडक्ट्स थे वो काफ़ी हाई एंड के इंजीनियरिंग के थे, एंड देयर मेन क्लाइंट वाज, तो ये कंपनी 20 साल से अपनी धुन में चल रहे हैं, अपनी मज़े में चल रहे हैं। उनका टर्नओवर अबाउट 150 crores with about 125-150 employees pan India, and they had some collaboration with a Dutch company जो उनके कुछ काम की भी नहीं थी, और या तो इनको उससे कोई पड़ा भी नहीं था। मतलब एक तरीके से मेरे को ये कंपनी में ऐसा मजाक लग रहा था कि आधे सीरियसली डूइंग समथिंग या चल रहा है बोल के चल रहे हैं। बट देन आई हैड अ कंसल्टेंसी एंड मेरे पास तो खाली सप्लाई चेन का था, तो मैं बिजनेस मैनेजमेंट या एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप या कुछ और तरीके में बात नहीं कर रहा था, कर नहीं पा रहा था। आई कुड नॉट टॉक अबाउट इट, दैट वाज नॉट माय मैंडेट आल्सो। सो कमिंग टू फॉल्टी टेक्नोलॉजी, they had a software called MRP2. How many of you have heard that? None of you? How many of you have heard ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning? None of you have heard? How many of you know SAP, SAP? Nishit, Aman?
Sir, sorry, sir, I can't hear it. Sir, can
You
you
can't hear?
please?
I was asking how many of you have heard the word MRP, Material Resource Planning?
Oh,
सुना है?
yes, sir.
बढ़िया. So the evolution of supply chain technology in terms of tools was MRP1, MRP2, ERP1, 2, and then SAP 1, 2, SAP 1,
Sir,
R1,
they are
R2.
they are scheduling the price of the product.
Correct. SAP has SAP is multifunctional. It's an amazing thing. Earlier they used to sell it as a package, a bundle, जिसमें finance, design, marketing, supply chain, administration, HR, सब कुछ आ जाता था। तो वो बहुत में, it used to be a very expensive software. So now they are giving you customized tools. So if your company is small and you say नहीं मेरे को खाली supply chain और admin HR चाहिए, we will give you. You say no, I want only SAP supply chain, we can give you that. ऐसे करके उन्होंने बहुत उसको flexible कर दिया है, and it is such a dynamic tool that it gives you end-to-end empowerment of doing work with technology. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So now coming back to this faulty technology का example. So ये कंपनी में MRP2 सॉफ्टवेयर था, MRP2 सॉफ्टवेयर था, मैं सप्लाई चेन में कंसल्टेंसी कर रहा था. सो दे हैड वेयर हाउसिंग, ट्रांसपोर्ट, डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन एंड प्रोक्योरमेंट, एंड दे यूज टू गेट लिंक्ड विद design and finance and marketing. Now, despite having this tool, out of 10, 9 people from the critical departments could not use this tool end to end. What do you mean by end to end? Anybody? None? So
Sir,
end to end, yeah, Nishit.
yes, sir. In every production stage, in every stage of planning and something,
Yeah,
they are helping end to end.
right. So end to end का मतलब हो गया, marketing gets an order, the design team with finance will do the design and costing, then it goes to supply chain team, supply chain
Then
team, सप्लाई चेन टीम में प्रोक्योरमेंट वाले उसको इंटरप्रीट करेंगे, एंड देन दे विल ऑर्डर, they will create a BOQ. A BOQ means bill of quantity, which will schedule the entire order, and then transportation, warehousing, production, and it goes to the client. That is called as end to end. So now MRP tool, those who can use SAP and all, today you don't have to meet anybody practically. So एक order आ गया तो it is registered in the software. If I am in purchase, I can go to that order number, understand, interpret that order, and order online end to end with from the vendors. It comes in time, scheduling करना, उसको design ये करके discussion करके सब, everything is happening technologically. No human interaction, zero interaction. That is what we call as end to end use of technology. सो ये कंपनी में ये MRP2 सॉफ्टवेयर होने के बावजूद आउट ऑफ 10 8 people could not use it. So what was the problem? That means क्या प्रॉब्लम था अमन? Nobody? So the problem was transfer of knowledge. Knowledge management was not transferred correctly to the right person at the right time. And then that is why they could not completely use it. So complete use was not done. So that is why they were not empowered, and they were doing nearly 80% of their work manually. They were spending a lot of time. A lot of time means waste of time is what? Loss of opportunity. Loss of opportunity is loss of income. And that is why, as I told you at the beginning of the case study, this company was doing 100 to 120 or 150 crores of turnover. In the last 10 years, they were not growing. सो इट इज़ एक्सट्रीमली इम्पॉर्टेंट जब आप नॉलेज ट्रांसफ़र की बात करते हो या नॉलेज मैनेजमेंट को इम्प्लीमेंट करने की बात करते हो या व्हेन वी टॉक ऑफ इनकलकेटिंग दिस नॉलेज, it is important to understand what are the advantages and what are the drawbacks. Now, this software, when it was procured 12 years back, it was very expensive. सही है ना? इतना एक्सपेंसिव सॉफ्टवेयर लेके अगर उसको यूज नहीं करते हो तो उसका कोई मतलब नहीं होता है. सो व्हाट विल हैपन? एनीबडी? You will lose money. You're not going to make money. So love it or hate it, technology is here to stay. It has its advantage, clearly overcoming its drawbacks. However, problems do arise because of faulty technology from broken hardware, bad internet, or not so great software. Here the software was not bad, no bad internet connection, but the transfer of technology was not properly used. Considering the rise of the knowledge economy, it is very important. Today, we all are living, working, learning, transferring knowledge in an internet based economy. We call it as knowledge economy, or they call it as mobile economy or mobile employee, remote working. Look, I'm sitting here in Pune and teaching you. You may be in Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, or Madhya Pradesh, or Mumbai, wherever it is. The good functioning of a business is not just about a delivery of a training program, it also relies on heavy use of technology. So I have added some more in this. But for it's just not about technology, it is also important that you transfer this technology to the right person at the right time in a right way. I call that as complete transfer of knowledge management or full transfer of knowledge. Anything which is half cooked, half learned, or half baked, अगर आप समोसा बनाओगे लेकिन अच्छे से नहीं बनाया होगा तो क्या होगा निशित?
सर
Yes,
वो खराब हो जाएगा, मतलब
खराब हो
टेस्ट नहीं
जाएगा।
अच्छा आएगा उसका।
बराबर है. So as you rightly said, it's the same thing happening today in in the world of information and technology, or knowledge transfer, or transferring even knowledge through technology. ये बोल के छोड़ना कि ये मैंने आपको ट्रांसफर कर दिया है, पढ़ लेना सीख लेना, is one part, but also interpreting it and understanding is also an important part. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So let's go to the next paragraph. Even though they can't control everything that can go wrong, there are some things that learning and development professions can do to ensure the least amount of tech related problems occur. The most important of all is choosing the best learning software. Now, there is nothing called as best learning. Learning, as I said earlier, what is learning? What did I say earlier? कुछ याद आ रहा है? What is learning? Learning is something which will be ongoing. It never stops. You should have the hunger and the urge to learn. So, learning management systems, most of the systems are in place with a comprehensive set of features that runs automatic backups and provides secure connections at all times. If employees can't access training materials, learning can possibly happen, and knowledge transfers even less so. See, I feel yes, there can be glitches, there will be problems, there will be challenges in terms of software, internet connections. But if you have the urge to learn, if you have the willingness to learn, if you are ready to adapt, keep your mind open, everything is at your disposal. If not now, it will be tomorrow, day after tomorrow. So, hopefully, this example helps you to understand technology, its barriers, but also let's not blame the technology, right?
Yes, sir.
So, today
Yes, sir.
I had a challenge, but Pratima ma'am was also proactive. She came, she helped. I forwarded the presentation. Nishit knew it. He solved the problem. We started. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Classic
Yes.
example. Willingness to learn, readiness to learn, and being adaptive to learning. And this should be throughout your life. Let it be something vague. जब मेरे से कोई इंजीनियरिंग की बात करता है या लॉ की बात करता है या मेरे को कुछ सीखना है तो मैं बोलता हूँ अच्छा ठीक है पढ़ लूंगा समझ लूंगा नहीं समझ में आया तो मैं मेरे लॉयर को फ़ोन करता हूँ मेरे चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट को फ़ोन करता हूँ दे एक्सप्लेन आई एम नॉट ट्राइंग टू बी अ अकाउंटेंट आई एम नॉट एन अकाउंटेंट I'm not trying to be a lawyer. I'm not trying to be a doctor. But what am I doing here? I am transferring and adapting to knowledge. ये knowledge से मैं कुछ सीख रहा हूँ. That's my only objective. Let's go to the next slide. Making training a one-time hit. The training programs are not easy. It's an ongoing process. I just mentioned to you earlier also. एक ट्रेनिंग से कुछ नहीं होगा. So, couple of years back, I went to IIM Bangalore, did a 3 months entrepreneurship and innovation program. Professor Sheshadri was my trainer, professor. He was teaching entrepreneurship and innovation at IIM Bangalore, IIM Ahmedabad. Amazing teacher. Today he teaches at ISB Hyderabad. We after it's nearly about 15 or 16 years now that I did that training, 3 months training at IIM Bangalore. आज भी me and Professor Sheshadri once in a month या once in 2 months या थोड़ा ज़्यादा कम ज़्यादा हो जाता है, we talk at least for 15-20 minutes on what have we learned about entrepreneurship and innovation. Now, he being so senior, he's an IIT graduate, IIT Chennai, and I am Ahmedabad graduate. He's very senior to me. He's now in his 62 or 65. He's in 60s. At least 14 to 15 years of more experience than what I have. Training is continuous. I still make it a point to speak to him. He does not have much time, I must admit. He's very senior, very busy. He continues to teach at Ahmedabad and ISB Hyderabad, but he still gives me a time once in 2 months saying, Uday, come, let's talk. Do you have time? To me, it is a training from my guru. Hopefully, you'll learn something from this. He's very senior, so I learn. If people don't practice what they learn over a time, they will forget. If what I teach, what I read, not all can be implemented. I must agree. There's heap loads of information which is out in this world today. I can tell you at least 15 or 20 gurus on entrepreneurship and innovation. Amazing guys. Amazing knowledge. सबको इम्प्लीमेंट करना इम्पॉसिबल है, बट जब भी कभी मैं कुछ पढ़ता हूँ, मैं ध्यान में रखता हूँ या कुछ जॉट डाउन करके रखता हूँ, एंड बाय डूइंग सो आई एम ट्राइंग टू यूज दैट लर्निंग and knowledge, and I try to put it somewhere, sometime, somehow, somewhere. Now, this may sound absurd. आपको बोलोगे यार ये कुछ टाइम पास हो रहा है क्या, अगर ये इतना सब कुछ कैसे कर पाओगे? Not, as I say again, listen carefully, सब कुछ इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं हो पाएगा. सब कुछ इम्पॉसिबल है बिकॉज इतनी बैंडविड्थ हमारे पास नहीं है. बट there is a time when a day arises where you say, bang, I have a problem. And then you recollect, अरे यार ये ऐसा हुआ था. Can that be done? Yes, you can try. That is I call as perfect learning and dissemination of knowledge or adaptation of what you have learned. Otherwise, sometimes you will experience, you will not get a chance. आज तक जितना कुछ जिंदगी में मैंने सीखा है सब कुछ इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं कर पाया हूँ. So will you say that is it a waste of knowledge? Does knowledge go waste?
No, sir.
So here is the opportunity. Open your doors. Knowledge transfer is a series of events. It is not just one event. Moving information from short-term memory to long-term memory, as I just spoke some minutes back, is not so simple. A trajectory as it may seem, the formative curve affects everyone. We all, the human brain, not all of them can be brilliant. It doesn't mean that each one of you isn't either. How you adapt, I again use this word, how you adopt and how you want to implement it either at your work situation or in your business or in your life is something what is called as knowledge management. Knowledge management ऐसा नहीं है कि डेटा ट्रांसफर है, यहां से लिया वहां डाल दिया, जैसे हम लोग कंट्रोल सी कंट्रोल वी करते हैं, हो गया, यहां से कॉपी किया वहां पेस्ट कर दिया, नॉलेज ट्रांसफर हो गया. नो, That is not knowledge. Knowledge is something which is over a long term, it's over a period, it's infinite. नॉलेज डजंट स्टॉप. आज कुछ अगर इन्वेंट हो गया तो उसी थ्रेड को नॉलेज वहां जाके फुल स्टॉप लगता है. एम आई राइट? डू वी एग्री? If something is innovated today or something new has been done, then there is a full stop for that moment. Right? Are we understanding? Aman, Nishit?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
So from there, does it stop? If you read something, if Aman आप अगर आज कुछ पढ़ते हो तो आपका आपको क्या होने लगता है? Your brain starts working, right?
सर जो पढ़ा उसके ऊपर.
हाँ, आप कुछ सोचने लगते हो. आप बोलते हैं ये आइडिया ये आदमी ने कुछ किया है, आइडिया तो बढ़िया है, इसको और कुछ कर सकते हैं क्या?
यस सर, समथिंग इनोवेटिव, और उससे यहाँ पे कुछ रह गया या फिर कुछ उसमें और.
Yeah, that's where that knowledge management is at its utilization capacity. You get something else also from outside. आपका कोई पार्टनर होगा तो वो आपको कुछ आइडिया देगा, आपके पापा मम्मी फ्रेंड्स रिलेटिव्स कुछ आइडिया देंगे. Knowledge management is something which is not going to stop, it's going to be forever. Instructional designers can fight the forgetting curve by adopting the space repetition technique in the course content. Repetito mater studiorum est. After all, while including some important piece of information in more than one place during the course is a great start. I have been repeating something from time to time. There is one more thing that the learning and development professionals can do to increase the chances of knowledge transfer to happen. Post training activities, this will help employees to better remember what they learn and better apply that knowledge in real time or real life business or working situation. Transfer of knowledge is not easy. उठा के डाल दिया ऐसे नहीं है. जो हम लोग व्हाट डू वी डू, हम लोग ने कंट्रोल सी किया दैट मीन्स कंट्रोल ए किया हाईलाइट किया, कंट्रोल सी किया दैट मीन्स इट इज गॉट कॉपीड, कंट्रोल वी किया व्हाट हैज हैपेंड, इट हैज गॉट पेस्टेड. राइट? am I
यस
right?
सर. यस सर.
And then when we do control s, it is got what? Anybody? It has got saved, right, in the computer. आप लोग यूज करते हो, right? Right or wrong? So as what we do there in this situation, post training also, we are trying to say that to increase the transfer of knowledge is important. We got to be repetitive. Why are we repeating some situations? Why some things have been told again and again? Why have they been highlighted from time to time again? As a learning professional or a learning and development professional, as a teacher, by highlighting it and again, I'm trying to just, or by giving you that examples, I can just say to you, to give you an example. ये पावर पॉइंट प्रेजेंटेशन मैंने बनाया है, मैं आपको बोल सकता था ओके निशित आप पढ़ो, राइट? अमन आपको समझ में आ गया होगा, ये भी बोल सकता था, राइट?
यस सर.
बट बाय गिविंग एग्जांपल्स, by giving you some situations, I have tried to give you that makes life easy. As a learning and development professional or as a teacher, I need to make sure that it becomes easy for you to understand. Next slide. So how do we make the program? How do we implement the program? A winning knowledge management program increases staff productivity. It is expected that it should increase staff productivity. ये होता है क्या? To be very frank, out of 10 situations, 7 situations people are just sleeping. But that should not really happen. Product, it should increase the product and service of quality, deliverable, consistency by capitalizing on intellectual and knowledge based assets. However, implementing can be a challenge. Now, why do I say this can be a challenge? ऐसे क्या बड़ी चीज मैं सिखा रहा हूं? Am I teaching you something like send a rocket on the moon? Am I teaching you that?
No, sir.
Then why do I say that implementing knowledge is a challenge here? ऐसे क्या दिक्कतें आ सकती है? What challenge? What is a problem? In this, okay, let's take an example. I have two friends of mine in this class who are participating, but I have a challenge. Do I have a challenge, निशित? मेरे पास कुछ challenge लग रहा है तुमको? अमन, आपको कुछ चैलेंज लग रहा है यहाँ? ये फर्स्ट पैराग्राफ पढ़ने के लिए आई विल रिपीट इट. अ विनिंग नॉलेज मैनेजमेंट प्रोग्राम इज इंक्रीजिंग स्टाफ प्रोडक्टिविटी. सो आई विल यूज द वर्ड it should increase student productivity, product and service quality, and deliverable consistency by capitalizing on intellectual and knowledge based asset. But however, implementing this can be a challenge, and I am saying I have a challenge. आपको लगता है कोई चैलेंज है?
यस सर.
क्या
ये
चैलेंज
सर
है?
प्रोडक्ट सर
सर इसमें सर
कैसा
हम
वर्क
इम्प्रूव कर रहे हैं सर नॉलेज सर.
हाँ, बट
पर्टिकुलर मैनेजमेंट की अपन इंक्रीज कर रहे हैं सर नॉलेज.
बट वो हो रहा है क्या? आपको लग रहा है?
यस सर, हो रहा है सर.
कैसे?
सर बाय प्रोडक्ट, सर बाय प्रोवाइडिंग द क्वालिटी एंड डिलीवरी द कंसिस्टेंसी बाय कैपिटलाइजिंग.
नहीं, मैंने आपको एक एग्जांपल दिया निश्चित. अभी हम क्लास की सिचुएशन ले रहे हैं. मेरे साथ 15 एम्प्लॉइज पढ़ रहे हैं.
यस सर.
बट देयर इज अ प्रॉब्लम. क्या प्रॉब्लम है?
सर वो मतलब नॉलेज सर प्रॉपर उन्हें क्या बोलते हैं सर कोई.
यू आर राइट, यू आर ऑन द राइट पाथ. आप सही बोल रहे हो. कंटिन्यू.
सर
इंटरेस्टिंग लोग, कुछ लोगों को इंटरेस्टिंग नहीं लग रहा सर वहाँ पे कुछ. तो सर अगर कुछ होगा तो
हाँ,
तो उनके काम का नहीं है सर. मतलब उन्हें लग रहा है कि अभी ये तो एक्स्ट्रा साइड ऑन है, तो इस टाइप का कुछ मतलब.
Perfect. So thanks, Aman. Thank you very much. Transferring this knowledge, increasing the productivity, improving quality and deliverables is not happening. And this is why when you step out in the world of working, आप जब काम पे लगोगे, out of 10 situations you will see 9 situations में लोग ब्लैक बोर्ड की तरफ या वो मस्त एयर कंडीशन रूम में बैठे हैं होटल के, ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम चल रहा है, नॉलेज शेयर हो रहा है, आधे जन खाना खा के सो रहे हैं, और 10 में से maybe only one is participating. So what I'm trying to highlight here is not the problem with our students. वो मेरा objective नहीं है. My objective over here is to highlight that transferring knowledge is not easy as what we seem to be. बोलना एक तरफ है, रिस्पॉन्स मिलाना और उसको अडेप्ट करके उसको प्रोडक्टिविटी की तरफ लेके जाना, ये सबसे मेजर चैलेंज है. So sometimes when I'm doing trainings, I feel that 10% is teaching, but 90% is to come from those who are sitting ahead. और अगर हम लोग वो 90% को इम्प्लीमेंटेशन में ला सकते हैं या पार्टिसिपेटिव मोड में ला सकते हैं, then I will call it as a perfect knowledge management transfer program. Otherwise, it will have no meaning. So with this, I think we are at 4 o'clock. If ma'am permits, we can stop. And before stopping, I can throw the session open for questions. If there are any questions, if you have, so that I can answer for another 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or whatever you want. Otherwise, we can stop the class, and by in the next class on Wednesday, we will finish the remaining part slides. And you have the slides now. So Nitish, you can share it to all your friends.
Okay, sir.
And then on Wednesday from same time 2 to 4 we will complete this, and that is the 4 hours of teaching what I have.
Okay, sir.
Is that okay, Pratima ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Have any doubt or any question, they can ask them.
Yeah, sorry, I could not hear you, ma'am. Sorry. मुझे कुछ सुनाई नहीं दे रहा है, मे बी थोड़ा सा इंटरनेट में प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है. So anybody has a question, or anybody wants me to highlight something or give you an example, or go back and talk about it? Nobody?
No, sir.
Okay, great. So thank you very much for coming by to the class. Hope it was interesting to all of you. Uh, Anything else is there, you can always write to me or call me, and I will be more than happy to answer any questions, or and if you have any other doubts. Okay.
Thank you so
Yes,
much.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, and you have a good evening.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
निशित माइक ऑफ करो, कहाँ बैठ गया?
निश्चित अटेंडेंस ले लेना.
लिख रहा हूँ ना, देखना.
मुझे कैसे पता होगा?
मछली बाजार में बैठा है क्या निशित? आवाज बहुत तेज आ रही है भाई.
निश्चित अटेंडेंस लेना, क्या टाइम पास कर रहा है?
प्रतिमा हम तो नहीं है ना, वही देख रहा था.
रुक जा, तेरा स्क्रीनशॉट लेकर मैम को भेज
ओए,
दे.
पागल है क्या?
भैया मैंने ले लिया है, मैं भेज रहा हूँ मैम को भी.
तू भेज. फिर मैं यही चीज है ना, जब सर उस दिन दिखाएंगे ना, मैं यही चीज शेयर करूंगा और तेरा नाम सबके सामने दिखेगा. सर की पीपीटी एडिट कर दो क्या यहाँ पर?
भैया अटेंडेंस लो जल्दी, नींद आ रही है.
मेरा याद से ले लेना अटेंडेंस.
मीटिंग रिकॉर्ड भी हो रही है निशित, ये भी देख लो.
कोई नहीं चेक करने वाला. निश्चित हो गई क्या अटेंडेंस?